have them done as part of having a security license anyway, DBS checks. But apart from them, it's the only thing they want is a record of my key skills level 2 numeracy obviously on top of the GCSE. They just want a photocopy of that. That's all they want. But then I think it was Sheffield. Sheffield, very similar, minus the NHS specific things. So that's what led me then to think, when you just said that, then that maybe it's because of the field that you're working in at the minute. So it might be because of that.
You can put the DBS and the occupational health definitely down to safety, of course, for yourself and for everybody else. And that is absolutely appropriate when you're going into placements and things like you're going to be. But it was just surprising because it can ask for, and I know they're not huge things by any stretch, and so long as you're not taking a piss at work or anything like that, you should be fine. But as long as you're a law-abiding citizen, you'll probably be fine.
We won't go that far.
Question mark over you for that one. But so long as you are kind of within the remit or acceptable, you'll probably be fine. They're not asking for anything completely out of the blue, completely unrelated, but there are different little nuanced things that each one will ask for. And one, so I had 2 unis out of the 5 I interviewed for. There was only 2 who did a maths test with me. The other 3 weren't interested in that, were more interested in me. Some of them did kind of direct questions where you can kind of see what the right or the wrong answers are. And then there was others that were quite difficult, and I'm sure you probably have some of these as well, where they'd ask you a question: if you were in this situation, what would you do? And I remember one of them was, if your neighbour had given you their dog while they went on a once-in-a-lifetime trip for, a month or whatever, and the dog became very unwell and the dog passed away, what would you do? Would you ring them and tell them so they can make the appropriate decision, or would you wait until they got back and tell them then? And it's just to work out, I think, if you are their type of person and you're going to fit in with the course that they are teaching, how they are teaching, or if maybe you're not a great fit for each other, and it's less of a right and wrong. And I really liked that. I really like that kind of, if you know I'm right for you, then I know you're right for me, with that sort of answer.
Definitely.
So I went with, I would ring them and tell them and ruin their holiday. Not because I'm jealous.
I'd go for the same one. I mean,
I thought communication. You've just got to communicate with people, and it's all you can do. Be straight up. Imagine coming home after 2 weeks and being like, "Oh, your dog's dead." They'd be like, could you not have rung me and let me know? No. So you've got to communicate. You've got to. And going into the career we are, I think you've got to talk to people.
That's another, obviously, where it was different for us, obviously, because we didn't have, like most university applications, you do them in person. We didn't have any of that this year. We did them online.
No.
But I think
nerve-wracking though, waiting for that call on it.
I think they were really, really tailored well, though, from my experience. Like the Bradford one, like it were brilliant. I had one of the guys who he works in the mental health sector, but he works in community outreach, but he also teaches. And I think he said that he'd been in the mental health field now for 20 plus years.
Wow.
So he was the main person that I was interviewing with, but then he introduced who I thought was his colleague. It turns out it's not. She's actually still under care, under mental health conditions. She's an actual outpatient, but he wanted to get her involved because he wanted to see how she adapted to me and how, more importantly, her thoughts of me as somebody who's actually in that sector as a patient and interacts with multiple nurses, and wanted to see if I'd be the right candidate, in terms of empathy.